Good evening, Shashanka.
Yes, sir.
Bhutati Shashanka, right?
Yes, sir.
Audio వినిపిస్తుందమ్మా?
Yes, sir.
ఓకే. మీరు తెలుగులోనా లేకపోతే ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేస్తారా?
English. I will prefer English.
Okay. Shashanka, please introduce yourself to the board, your educational background, your family background, and any extracurricular activities, hobbies. Please introduce yourself.
So, myself, Shashanka. I hail from Tirupati district. I have done my bachelor's in technology from Sri Venkateshwara University in computer science and engineering. And presently, I am pursuing my master's in technology in computer science and engineering. I am presently in my final year. My father worked as a police constable, and my mother as a homemaker. And my inspiration to get into public services was a seed sown by my father, but I lost him in 2019. Even though he is not physically present with me, his spirit has made me to get into public services while doing my MTech itself, so that I can get into services at a very young stage and serve the nation. And my interests include, I have been doing Bharatanatyam for past 10 years, and I have done my diploma in Bharatanatyam. And my other interests include, I play badminton and singing Annamacharya Sankirtana and reciting Bhagavad Gita are my other interests.
Very good. Shweta, Shashanka.
Yes, sir.
Your father, Mr. Shivakumar, he was working as a constable?
Yes, sir. He worked as a constable, but he died in 2019.
Why? What was the cause of death?
So lung infection, sir.
Oh, lung infection. I'm so sorry. Yes. Okay. So, do you like police?
Sir, yes, sir. Because my father.
I want an honest answer.
Sir, I like the police service, sir. So it's an honest answer.
Okay. Why the common people, they don't like police? If given an opportunity, they want to be away from police. Have you noticed? I'm very sure.
Yes, sir, I have noticed it.
What was the reason for this type of negative image about the police in the common people?
So one thing I have seen in particularly in common people with respect to police is that they think they are very apathetic and they don't have any empathy. And the other thing is the social stigma around police profession. And there are also many myths about police. But now the structure has been changing. The police are evolving, and they are also including ethics and morals in their.
What is the social stigma you are referring to?
Sir,
I'm very curious to know. I'm curious to know what is that social stigma which you noticed. I want the factual information.
Yes, sir.
It's a very, very strong observation, which
yes,
is a negative observation about the police. I want your factual information about that.
So first thing is the nature of the service of police. And also I think the stereotype of police is to be strict and not adhering to the people's voices. That is something I have noticed where people and also people are redundant to talk to police. I think that is something which makes
that is what my observation, my experience.
Yes,
I want your honest feedback. Why so? How can we become people friendly?
Sir, can I take a minute?
Take your own time. Take your own time. Orchestrate your answer. Yeah, honest answer. Be honest. Okay, from the police family, the board expects a very honest and frank answer from you.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You are taking longer time.
Yes, sir. So one thing I have observed is from the British times, the police service has the police as a force has been used to uh, decrease the people's participation, and also from that behavior it has been continued for a very long time. So that is something I observed, sir.
Very good point. Very good point, Shashanka. I pass it on to Chakrapani sir now.
Okay, sir.
Sasanka,
Yes, sir.
you have the distinction of a lady constable beating up one of the political leaders recently
Yes, sir.
in Kala. Have you seen that?
Yes, sir. I have seen that.
Huh? What do you
Yes,
think
sir.
of that? What do you think
Sir,
of that?
sir, I think it is not correct thing to do.
Huh. You
Uh,
see, there is a lot of induction of women into police force
yes,
in
sir.
the recent last 5-6 years. I'm sure a substantial number of sub-inspectors, constables have been inducted into police. Now,
Yes,
is
sir.
it making a difference? I think in continuation of the discussion, is it making a difference in terms of uh, enforcing law and order, in terms of bringing in a human face to the police?
Sir, I think it has been gradually changing, sir. So the change has been gradual, but I think it has the potential to get into the people friendly policing. That is something we are achieving for. So I think induction of women can be a very good move.
You have done your MTech, you are doing your MTech, isn't it? In computer
Yes, sir.
sciences.
Yes, sir. I'm
Uh,
doing it.
there is an IIT at Tirupati.
Yes, sir. IIT Tirupati.
You go there anytime?
No, sir. I hadn't
No,
had the fortune of going there.
it's not very far off. There are a number of new methods in terms of building architecture, etc., which have been introduced, and then they've taken up a lot of modern methods and material for construction of that building. I
Yes,
thought you
sir.
would be that.
No, sir. I haven't been there. So
Have you heard
I'll
of
do.
ICER?
Sir,
ICER? Have you heard of ICER?
sir. Uh, no, sir. I don't know, and I'm not able to recall that is right now.
You have very, very diverse hobbies, Hindi, learning of Hindi
Yes,
and
sir.
Bharatanatyam. Why did you start learning Hindi?
Sir, it's something I have developed by myself, and I have uh, in my childhood I used to watch the soap operas of Hindi. So then I get to know the Hindi language better, and my fascination towards that language has led me into the Hindi language tests. But I have not continued after that, after my Praveshka.
Okay. Now, there is a lot of liquor consumption which is going on in the rural areas and also in urban areas. I
Yes,
think
sir.
it's reaching alarming proportions in terms of those who are at the lower rung of the society economically, etc. If you become a police officer or a district collector, what will you do to prevent this? How will you enforce?
So one thing the government has been doing is that the number of liquor shop has been decreased substantially
Has the
from
liquor
the past.
consumption come down?
No, sir, not the liquor consumption, but the liquor shops have been decreased. So I think the need of change in behavior of particularly the rural areas where the alcohol addiction has been in triggering rates should be
Do you think
uh,
sale of liquor should be linked to Aadhaar?
the sale of liquor.
Sale of liquor, do
Uh,
you think it should be linked to Aadhaar so that at least you can keep track of how many bottles are being purchased by an individual?
that I think it cannot be a feasible solution because they can do the black market and they go into illegal ways of consuming the not so good, that is the illegal alcohol, which is of very poor quality and leading to their deaths. So I think the other link could not be a feasible solution in my limited knowledge, sir.
Do you think of any state which has tried to at least bring down the consumption of liquor? Any of the states in the last 3-4 years?
So I am not able to recall, sir. I think Andhra Pradesh has taken a step towards alcohol prohibition in the past decades, sir.
We're talking of the last 4-5 years, not earlier, about 30 years back. Prohibition 30 years back, almost 30 years back.
Yes, sir. I don't know, sir, with respect to the alcohol that.
Mr. KP.
So thank you. Sasanka,
Yes, sir.
since we are talking about the alcohol, what is your opinion about women alcoholism?
Sir, I think it's their choice to drink alcohol or not.
Yes.
And if they take the intake is at permissible levels, I think it can be, because ultimately it's their choice, I would say.
About female smoking?
So personally, I don't like smokers, but it is also the freedom of an individual. So I think India is a free country, so they have the freedom and rights to do so.
So one of your hobbies is gardening.
Yes, sir.
Do you know anything about keyhole gardening?
Keyhole gardening, sir. I don't recall it, sir.
Or companion planting?
I'm not sure about companion planting, sir.
Fine. Another thing that you have mentioned interestingly is interpretation of movies.
Yes, sir.
What is that interpretation of movies?
So sometimes I do movie interpretation, like when I see a movie, if the genre is thriller, I would interpret the movie so as who's the crime suspect, like that. That is what my interpretation of movie. Like it is dedicated to a particular genre, like thrillers.
What was the last movie that you saw?
So the last movie I saw was Virupaksha.
How you interpreted it?
So firstly, I thought the narration goes like the kid whose parents were burnt. I thought he was the one who would avenge their parents.
So that is you guess the possible villain, possible.
Yes, sir.
So that kind of things.
Yes, sir. That kind of thing.
Okay. So what are the India's prospects in badminton, shuttle badminton?
So one thing I would say that people are of average height, because height matters in badminton, and also the jumps and sir, I'm not getting the question, sir. The prospects
Yes,
in the
prospects
sense like
means how India would be faring in the future in the field of badminton, based on the present performance in the badminton field by various players like PV Sindhu and others.
yes, sir.
How India should fare in the future?
Sir, I think now after the PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth and many other players, badminton has been regarded as a high sport nowadays, and also the participation rate has also increased. In my family, my uncle has been dedicated her daughter, my niece, towards badminton playing, and she is doing quite good in the playoffs. So
The
I think
government has to do is
how sir?
what the government has to do. What should be the government policy with reference to encouraging the people to take the badminton as a sport?
The first thing I would say is funding for infrastructure, sir,
Right.
because it is a ground. It needs a place. So it's an outdoor game, so it needs place. So first thing is infrastructure, and the second thing is by incentive, by giving incentive to people participating in these sports. And the other thing is for safe transportation and other facility provision to the students. So particularly for girl students, for girl aspirant, I would say the safety provisions must be more with respect to the transportation facilities, and also with respect to role models, and also media coverage should also be more. So I think those can.
What is your father in the police department? What is his position?
Sir, he worked as ARPC, police constable.
Can you give me the ascending order of the hierarchy in the police department?
Ascending order, sir.
Yes.
So first is Director General of Police. In that way, or from downwards, bottom to the top. So the last position is police constable, then senior constable, then head constable, then additional sub-inspector, then
How many types of sub-inspectors are there?
so I think two, sir. Additional sub-inspector and sub-inspector. And
In the grade of sub-inspector,
I'm not aware of it, sir.
who is above the SA?
Above SA, it is circle inspector, and then sir, I'm unable to recall the hierarchy, sir.
Do you know anything about police reforms? Police reforms in India.
So, can I take a moment, sir? So one thing that comes to my mind is the people-friendly policing. That is one thing, sir. And also integration of technology with the police is other thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
And
what is your opinion about encountering the accused in the Disha murder case?
sir, I don't think it is just means of doing sir, because we have the judiciary, which is the one of the main pillars of the democracy. If the encounters are in the hands of the police, then the judicial bodies, I think the democracy, the pillars of democracy will be imbalanced.
So do you think that police have the powers for the encounter?
Should they be given, or
no? Do they have the powers of encountering?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you. Sir Raju, sir.
Yeah, the Shashanka,
Yes,
this is the feedback about your performance from the board. As per the observations of each member,
Yes.
from the information provided by you in your the report, that is called the form, detailed application form. Okay,
Yes.
you are highly qualified. First point, you are pursuing your MSc, right? MTech. Sorry.
MTech. Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Yeah, continue. And you are also qualified for the civil services mains.
Yes, sir.
You're taking the mains exam in the coming September.
Yes, sir.
Oh, very good. Okay. Now the board has not asked you about the Bharatanatyam and the classical singing. That's your personal hobby. So
yes, sir.
prepare well in that area. Because of the paucity of the time, we have not touched upon that one. My advice to you is don't use the very strong judgmental words like social stigma against the police or any other, for that matter, any other public authority.
Okay,
That
sir.
is,
I'll keep that in mind.
you cannot justify by using those type of words. You cannot
Yes, sir.
convince the board.
Yes, sir.
Next, it's like the dress, the way you conducted yourself is apt for the board. And please maintain the same dignity, and absolutely the voice is very, very normal, and there is no emotional content in that's fine. It's acceptable to the board. If you want to switch over to Telugu in between, if you find it difficult to answer, and mother tongue, we feel very, very comfortable in speaking because APPSC board members, they permit you. That is, but UPSC board, they will not. If once you
Yes.
wrote your mains in English, you are not permitted to speak in other than English there.
Yes, sir.
That is, I'm very sure of the rule. But APPSC,
Yes.
I don't know, sir. Chakrapani sir has to validate whether it is permitted or not, sir. But as far as you can switch over from one language to other, whichever comfortable. Next, you have taken more than expected the time to orchestrate your answer.
Yes, sir.
I would have accepted the delay, the taking longer time, if the answer is brilliant, which is out of the box, which is
Yes,
wow, which is said that, oh, brilliant girl. Twice you have taken the answer, the gap, the time to marshal your thoughts, but the answer is
But
very,
the
very
answer is-
average. You can't justify both. You can't justify.
Yes.
Suppose you want to skip. Sir, I'm not sure of the answer. Suppose police reforms. KP Sahab has asked about the police reforms. Sir, I'm not sure because AR, Armed Reserve Police Constables, they're not directly dealing with the law and order.
Yes, sir.
If it is a law and order, if it is constable traffic, constable investigation, sub-inspector investigation, that's a different matter. You are well versed with the police reforms, the Prakashing judgment like that. Once you are not sure of that one, please seek, sir, sorry, sir, I'm not sure of the answer. So that you save the board time and allows the board to ask more questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma? All the
Yes,
very
sir.
best for this interview. Don't take this, okay? It's when is the date of the interview?
Second August,
Wonderful,
sir.
wonderful. Just pass through the motions, attend the interview, but your focus will be on the UPSC mains.
Yes, sir.
All the
Okay.
that is the feedback from me, sir. Chakrapani, sir.
Yeah, Sasanka, your overall bearing, demeanor, they're quite good, very positive. You're very balanced in your presentation. But your knowledge of the local institutions, I think, needs to be improved.
Yes, sir.
Particularly now that Tirupati is a newly formed district, you can expect some questions relating to IIT, ISER, etc. So I think you need to brush up that knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And particularly you're a native of Tirupati, because I think hats off to your father, late father, who has sort of facilitated you to make this effort, and I think he deserves all congratulations. The other thing is about the liquor consumption that I asked for. It's very rampant, particularly in Chittoor, etc. There have been a number of accidents relating to drivers, drunken people indulging in accidents. Almost every day there is some report or other on the highways, etc. So you need to be a little well versed in liquor related road accidents. In Renugunta itself, Erpedu, almost 14 people were killed in an accident about 4 or 5 years back because of drunken driving. So these are aspects which you need to keep in view. You can expect a question on the induction of women into police force. I think you need to really take advantage of such questions, because being a lady participant, I think you can expect, and coming from a police family. So all the best to you. I'm sure you will do very well.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, KP Garu, your feedback, please.
Sir, I'm not getting your voice.
Yeah. Are you able to, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, the answer that you have given to the liquor related question about female liquor consumption and smoking, that was excellent. And what is your optional in the civil services?
The geography, sir.
Geography, okay. You may get a question even in the general studies also, in the security related management, in the paper 3. This police reforms questions may be asked. So you have
I'll
to,
work on it, sir.
yeah, you have to be thorough with the police reforms, which has been an issue almost from the past.
Recording in progress.
So need to know much better about the gardening types, and so there may be questions even about your hobby, Bhagavad Gita recitals. And regarding the badminton, the question that I have asked about the government policy perspectives, you are more theoretical about the development of the issues. So you need to know much better about what the government is doing and what the government has to do in the future for improvisation of this game. That's all. All the best, Sasanka.
Sasanka, మీరేమని అడగాలనుకుంటున్నారు బోర్డ్ ని? మీరేమని అడుగు before?
Yes, sir. One thing. Sir, how would you mark? I mean, how many marks would you give me so that I get a rough estimate of?
Based on my assessment, I'll give you B+. B+ roughly out of 75 comes around 50, between 40 and 50. So they won't give the marks per se. They give the A+, B+, B, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
సార్ చెప్పినట్టుగా మీరు అవసరమైన చోట తెలుగులో మాట్లాడండి, నో ప్రాబ్లం. లాస్ట్ APPSC ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ 2020 దాంట్లో వాళ్ళు పర్మిట్ చేశారు, తెలుగులో మాట్లాడడానికి పర్మిట్ చేశారు. మీరు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడవచ్చు. తర్వాత మీ MTech స్పెషలైజేషన్ ఏంటి?
సో కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ ఇంజనీరింగ్.
కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్. సో దాని మీద కూడా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగే అవకాశం ఉంది.
ఓకే సార్.
It's like artificial intelligence, machine learning. How do you integrate it into your daily functioning? మీ కలెక్టర్ గా మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు, ఇవన్నీ కూడా అడుగుతారు అన్నమాట. I think మీరు ఎక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తున్నారు ఇప్పుడు? No, you are only you're pursuing your post graduation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All the best.
All the best.
Yeah. Thank you very much. All the very best for the UPSC. My fingers crossed about the APPSC. I can't guarantee, but UPSC, you have better chance.
Okay.
All the very best, Nana.
Okay, thank you, sir.
అయిపోచ్చి రావచ్చు.
మేము
శశాంక ఎగ్జిట్ అవ్వమ్మా. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. మళ్ళీ కలుద్దాం.
ఓకే ఓకే, అయిపోయారు.
విద్య ఎవరెవరు లేరా? శ్రీ విద్య
శ్రీ విద్య లేరంట. శ్రీ విద్య వేళ ఎవరు లేరు.
that is the profile sent to me.
సార్ 4 ఉన్నారు సార్. పవిత్ర, శ్వేత, బి జ్యోతి అండ్ శశాంక, నలుగురు వచ్చారు సార్.
Okay.
సార్ థ్యాంక్ యూ. కేపీ గారు సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. నమస్కారం.
Namaskar.